see. Yo.
Are we live?
Yeah, so what's up? This is Patrick McCarthy, and I'm team manager at 686. You're tuning in to Sessions with the Sarge. This is episode 1 with Matt Belzile, tuning in from Squamish, British Columbia.
What's up? What's up, Pat? How you doing, my man?
Doing really good, man. I just noticed that you dropped today. You're dropping the Airtime podcast with Jody. So I definitely want all the viewers that check this out and anybody in the know to make sure to run over and check that out, because I know you guys probably put some good effort in there, and that was probably a long time coming, huh?
Yeah. We had a good convo. Jody and I, we talked a lot about my past. It's a lot of snowboarding, and kind of dives into who I am. So if you want to check that out, man, it's good.
Awesome. Yeah. And what we're trying to do, or what I'm doing here with these sessions with the Sarge, are just more talking about right now and like what's going on with, we're all being quarantined and everyone's kind of, living this new life. And I just want to touch out with team riders and industry people and see what you're doing to like keep sane. So that like leads me into a simple question for you, what does Matt Belzile do to keep sane without going out snowmobiling with the man boys every day and beating yourself up? Like now you have all this other time. So what have you been putting your mind into?
Yeah, to be honest, it hasn't been easy, but I think recently I kind of have gotten into a routine where like I get up at the same time in the morning and I kind of like go through the motions of having a set routine, and I think that helps a lot. But I think you and I are pretty similar until like we like keeping busy by working on projects around the house. So I've been doing a lot of that kind of stuff. I did like a backsplash on my kitchen. I'm like fixing little things here and there, like paint touch-ups or like yard work.
Yeah, the way I look at it is like if you don't have a project, just make one up and start working on it. Yeah.
And then another big thing that's been helping me is kind of just, it's kind of nice having this time where there's not, your obligations kind of come to a halt and you kind of have time to reflect on how you've been living your life and kind of like, I don't know, seeing like where you should put more focus on, or like maybe you've been having bad habits and you can kind of start working on those. And so it's been kind of interesting kind of thinking back and being like, okay, I want to do more of this or less of that,
Yeah, it's a good time to kind of reflect on like your overall take on life. And one thing it's helped me do is like when I do projects, I slow down a little bit right now. I'm way more methodical. I'm not thinking like, usually I'm always like, oh, let me hurry up and bust this project out so I can get back in the mountains. But now it's like, oh, like I'm going to redo my deck. I'm going to take 5 days to do it. So the first like 3 will be just prepping and cleaning it. And then, so you go that extra mile a little bit,
100%. It's funny you say that. I feel the same way. Like everything I do, I'm just like slowing it right down because I know that I just have all the time right now. So you're just like, slowing it down, and you're doing like such a good job on everything you do. It's sweet.
Yeah. What is that? How do you feel like Canada has dealt with, the whole quarantine and this whole like pandemic in general? Do you feel like that your leaders are like doing a good job?
Yeah, I think so. I think our prime minister has been doing a good job, and there's definitely a lot of financial support, which is really nice to see, because I think that a lot of people are stressed out financially if you like can't work and you still have bills to pay. So that's really nice to see. And particularly in BC, we've been hearing a lot about how we've been flattening the curve. So that's like really promising. I just hope that it's not encouraging people to kind of lax their efforts and maybe, start forgetting the social distancing and start mingling a little too early.
Yeah.
But man, I'm impressed with Canadian government. I think we're doing a good job.
What's the first thing you would do if you could go out and do whatever you wanted right now? If you weren't held down by the social distancing order and you could just go, would you go sled?
Yeah, I'd go sled. Or it's funny. Yesterday, I was looking at my phone and I was kind of looking at what I was doing exactly a year ago, and I was riding the resort. And man, if the resort was open, I'd be 100% riding the resort.
Yeah. Oh man, I feel that. So I've been, one thing I've been binge watching some Netflix things and like getting into some shows. Is that something that you've been getting down on, or?
Yeah, a little bit. Definitely at the start. And then I think I kind of overdid it. And yeah, we're like, right now, my girlfriend and I are watching the Ozark series because I think they just put out a new season. So getting into that.
Yeah, I'm 26 episodes deep on that one.
Nice.
Yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy how addicting they are.
You watched that Tiger King one?
I did, yeah.
Okay, I'm like halfway through that one.
Yeah.
It's crazy because like everyone's kind of talking about it, and I feel like I'm not in the loop.
Yeah, for sure. So what exactly is the shopping like for you in Squamish? Do they have protocols set up, or do you try to go like one day a week, or how does it normally work for you?
Yeah, we do. Ashley and I do our best effort to just hit up the grocery store once a week. We kind of try to meal plan as much as we can. And then when I was doing my projects, I was going to Home Depot, and I felt like they were doing a pretty good job. Like they had lines on the ground, and yet they only allowed, I think, 50 people in the store at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And there was like lineups outside the store, and you had to be 6 feet apart. But I felt like it would get kind of busy, and it kind of deterred me from other projects I want to do. I think I was like, okay, I want to kind of do my part and be responsible and help crush this. So I kind of stopped myself from going to Home Depot as much as I started out.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now, like with home projects, I try to order stuff online and kind of go that route.
Yeah, I was really similar with all house project stuff. I was like, what do I have here? Where I had the stain, I had the deck cleaner, I had like the brushes I needed, and tried to like do projects that I could do here without going to the store. And Bethany's been super similar. We've been doing like the every 2 weeks. We do, we go out and do like a big Costco run kind of. And then we just kind of try to do our meal plans from that. And, we also have to worry about Rowan too. So she's got her own unique set of things.
Dude,
but
that must be tough, man.
We've been weird. Yeah, it's been really easy. Like so far, you just have a lot more time with your kids, which is really cool in a way. But like what gets hard is like yesterday, she was like, Daddy, I want to go to the aquarium, or like, Daddy, I miss my friends from school. And you don't really, with a 3-year-old, you don't really want to like go off and tell her, oh man, we're dealing with this like pandemic. It's more just like, oh man, your friends, they'll be around. Like we just got a little bit more time of like being around each other, and whatnot. So
yeah, that must be tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and at least you guys you have a nice sized yard, and you guys are kind of in the forest. Like that must be nice for Rowan. And yeah, I just think of like people stuck in like a condo. That must be like so difficult. Yeah,
for sure. Like inner city living or something like that, where it's just like you got to go and get in an elevator and all those different things. I'm very grateful for that. And there's a nice trail system across the street from my house. I can walk around and not like see any other people. So been doing that. And I was like trying to keep my steps up for a while until I got the largest sliver this side of the Mississippi in my foot last week.
Dude, I saw that. That was gnarly, man.
I know. You're like, I'm trying to stay out of the doctor's office, just like everybody trying to be. And then like I ended up in there twice dealing with that. But then
to like surgically remove it.
Yeah, there was the doctor told me that it looked like a lumberyard in my foot.
Oh my God, dude. That's gnarly.
Oh my goodness. So is it with the whole like kind of downturn and everything that's been cracking off with the markets and everything? I don't know if I know you're kind of I've watched some of your podcasts and followed you, we're really good friends, so I know a lot about you, but what's up with is this a time where you want to take advantage of the market, and like these companies that are going to be vigilant and deal with the economic circumstances in the right way and like come out ahead on this? Is it a good time to drop in on certain stocks, or what's your take on that?
Yeah, that's like the $1 million question. I'm like super interested in stocks in the market, but I'm definitely not a financial advisor. But I don't know my opinion is that this is a really good time to buy some stocks for cheap, especially if you're in for the long haul. Like, there's no doubt in my mind that we're gonna get past this, and that like business will go back to normal, whether it's in like 12 months or like 3 years. Like, man, if you can afford to just hunker down for 3 years, there'll for sure be some chop within those years. But yeah, I'm sure we're gonna like look back at this time and be like, wow, that was a great time to invest.
Totally.
Like 2008 crash. That's when I like started investing. Mm-hmm. And I remember people thinking I was crazy because like things were in shambles and there was no end in sight. And it's so funny, like looking back retrospectively, being like, wow, that was like one of the best times to invest in like the last like 20, 30 years.
Totally.
So yeah, if you got extra money that you're okay to risk and that you're in for the long haul, I think it's a good time for sure.
Cool. So I've been noticing that you've been stepping up your puzzle game lately. I've been checking that out. So what's up? What's the most piece puzzle, and what do you look for personally when purchasing a puzzle?
Well, I kind of inherited the last puzzle I did. I got it from a rental property. The tenants left it behind, but and this one was a bit frustrating because it was a 750 piece puzzle, but when I was done, there was actually only 747 pieces. I had like 3 pieces missing, so I didn't really like get the gratification of like completing it. But yeah, it definitely made me want to get more puzzles. I think I might try like a 1,000 piece next.
Epic. What's I see you got your little buddy there. What's your dog's name, and what kind of dog is that?
Yeah, this is Benson. He's a Yorkie, but he's like a teacup. He's like really small. He only weighs like 4 pounds.
Of everybody in your household, the 3 of you, who's holding up the best? Who do you think is dealing with quarantine the best out of the crew? Benson? 100%
Benson, because he's getting all the walks, because we go on so many walks. There's not much else to do.
Yep.
And like he just loves being around us, and we're around all the time.
Yeah, like in Squamish, is it something that would be considered reasonable, like to go like hike the Chief, or like do like one of those kind of like hikes, or are you guys like, I notice sometimes when I go to little trail systems in Bellingham or parks, like there's people out there, and like my goal when I take my family out is like I want to go where there's no one else, like, and that's like why I can't really go to the mountain anymore, because was a ton of people up there, and like, I can't take Rowan to the park to play on the swings because those are closed, like, so it's like really finding like an obscure spot off in nature. Is it similar up there for you guys too, or?
Yeah, it sounds the same. Like, a lot of the parks where the trails are closed. And I think it's mostly to deter the weekend people. Like, we get a lot of Vancouverites coming up for the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, I bet you could during the week go for a hike and it'd be fine. But I think the government's like definitely discouraging that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yes, Squamish, it's been pretty chill, all things considered. Like, you can bike, you can walk. The weekends, you're like, it's a little unsettling because a lot of people out, and so you got to kind of do your best efforts to social distance and do your part, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think also all things considered, we have it pretty good up here, man.
Oh, that's good. That's good to hear. Yeah, I feel like everybody down here understands, and especially for me, since my wife works in healthcare, it's been super important to like, you know, do everything I can to maintain and just be at home and always think about like the other people that are more in harm's way, you know, like that's more important than what little like things you want to do for yourself. So
yeah, for sure. And like, yeah, like that's crazy that Bethany's on the front lines. Like that must be pretty stressful.
yeah, sometimes it is, but we've been doing like the best we can, you know, to like maintain focus, you know, focusing on cooking good food, doing a lot of gardening, you know, and hanging out around the house and just like trying to be supportive, try to like pick up a few extra shifts of the chores and whatnot. And, you know, when she's home, her whole like therapy is like working on the house and doing like her projects and woodworking. So, you know, that's kind of her out, you know. And I think it's so important that all of us find our outs right now, you know, the ways that we feel creative and maintain our like happiness and creativity and things like that are so crucial. So
totally.
Do you think back on the season? Do you remember one moment that was like, you know, super important to you, or like that you accomplished something on the mountain that set apart the season for you?
Well, I have been reflecting on my season a lot, especially when everything's shut down. You're kind of like, whoa, like I had no idea it would end so quickly. And then you're kind of thinking back, well, like, you know, how your season was. And it was a good one, man. Like we had really good conditions up here. There was 1 week in particular in February where like the snow was epic and it was cold and the sun was out like 7 days in a row. So that was like our best filming stretch, and we got a bunch of stuff there. And yeah, I remember a few days with Rusty and Bo where we were just like, we're all just like on one. We're just all feeling it and just like diving super hard. It was sick.
Nice. Yeah, and I really enjoyed even just that little stint that we got together. I know it was only a couple of days, but you came down and we hit Baker, and we were just like doing a little bit more, just like riding the lines on the mountain. And, you know, I think avalanche conditions might have been higher, but we were just kind of like picking stuff off and having fun together. And like those kind of moments, you know, I think Eric was with us for the day, Hoffman. So that was
Hoffman, those were sick. I did like 2 days, and it just snowed so much, like what usually happens at Baker. But yeah, that was sick, man. Those days are awesome. Yeah.
Nice. Well, I really appreciate you coming on, you know, and wrapping out and catching up. And I think it's really important that this time, like, that we all do a lot of human connectivity, you know. And like I've been FaceTiming with a lot of my friends and FaceTiming with people, and that's kind of where this idea came from, was just to sit down and have some good conversations and remember that, you know, we'll get through this, and like, you know, life will return to its state. So
yeah, man. And like we live in great times where like we can still stay connected. Like this is awesome.
Yeah, definitely. Well, I want everybody to, it'd be really cool if everyone could check out the Airtime podcast. I know Jody works really hard on that, and I think it's a really cool outlet. And this isn't really a podcast. It's more of just a live stream, just a little, you know, 20-minute, half-hour time where we can just wrap out and catch up. And I appreciate Matt Belzile, episode 1, Sessions with the Sarge. And thank you very much for sitting down with me. And I hope you continue to have a progressive time leading into the summer and have a great summer recharging those batteries for next season.
Hell yeah. Good luck, everyone. I'm just here. There's my girlfriend, Ashley, working hard.
Hi, Ashley.
Yeah, man, we're all in this together. Let's do our part so we can get back at it.
Sounds good, brother.
All right.
Bye.
See you, Pat.
Bye.
Thanks so much.